Those of you who were out there who may not have ever heard about the Battle of Charlotte, well, it makes sense because from the historical perspective, some people say, it was a nothing burger. But there are some significant details about why it is an important battle. To give you a little bit of background, after the disastrous loss at the Battle of Camden, British commander Lord Cornwallis saw that loss on behalf of the Patriots as an opportunity, a prime opportunity to continue with the plan of invading the backcountry of North Carolina. He had on his radar Charlotte. And Charlotte was strategic. It was a place where you got two significant crossroads, and it was the next step towards the great prize, which at that time was Salisbury. On September 26, 1780, Cornwallis marched the main column of his army into Charlotte, about where South Tryon Street is today, and advanced forward. Meanwhile, the Whigs, under the command of Major William R. Davie, and on the ground, Joseph Graham, directing their forces, about 250 total militiamen, at the courthouse, which was at the intersection of Trade and what is today present-day Trade and Tryon, which was present then. There was a courthouse. It was surrounded by a brick wall at the very bottom, and then the courthouse was on top. Very strategic placement of troops there in a line. It was 250 men versus how many? Over 1,000 of Cornwallis's army marched in. Now, what was interesting about this battle was that the first to enter the town was the British Legion. And the British Legion had a very notorious reputation for charging headlong and advancing and directing their operations, which was usually pretty terrifying, especially to the Whig militia, who would just simply scatter whenever they would see the British Legion. On this day, however, they were well positioned at the courthouse, and they also had the element of surprise. When the British Legion came on their horseback forward to the courthouse, there was an advance line at the courthouse, and they opened fired on the British Legion. And believe it or not, the British Legion veered off to the right. They had actually been repelled. Hooray! And then the British Legion come back again, do another charge, and then the second volley from the courthouse. Bang! British Legion retreat again. Hooray! And then the third charge, same thing. To the point where, according to the story, Cornwallis himself goes up and he tells the leader of the British Legion that day to make a stand. Go back there and charge. Otherwise, you are not men of the British Army. Essentially, that's what was told. Now, because of the sheer numbers, the British Army simply overran the Whigs that were stationed at the courthouse. But skirmishing continued to happen along what is today present-day North Tryon Street and beyond. The British, they managed to capture Charlotte. Were they welcome? Absolutely not. During the brief occupation stay, a little over 2 weeks, at every turn, the British were harassed. Whenever they were going out to forage for food, their foraging parties were harassed. They always got evil stares from the British that were occupying the town. Now, why did the British evacuate Charlotte? It's because of the event that happened about 40 miles to the west at a place called Kings Mountain. On October 7, 1780, the left flank of Cornwallis's army, under the command of Colonel Patrick Ferguson, had gotten wiped out at the Battle of Kings Mountain. Cornwallis, he reevaluated matters and decided it would be better to retreat back into South Carolina and spend the winter. The significance of this battle is that it demonstrated to the Whig commanders and to the Whig forces that they could withstand an advance of the British Legion. And for that matter, tell the British that once they had occupied an area that they were not welcome and that they simply retreated out.